Most people dream about owning one supercar in their lifetime. Cristiano Ronaldo looked at that idea and decided it simply wasn't enough. Instead of stopping at one Bugatti, he collected 3 of the rarest models ever built, each one more outrageous than the last. They're not parked together just to show off. They represent years of success at the absolute highest level of football. It's the kind of garage that looks less like a home and more like an international car exhibition. And here's the funniest part. While the rest of us spend 10 minutes deciding where to park at the grocery store, Ronaldo has to decide which multi-million-dollar hypercar deserves today's drive. That's a problem almost nobody on Earth will ever have. You'd expect one of the richest athletes on the planet to train with futuristic machines worth thousands of dollars. Instead, Ronaldo became obsessed with a tiny rubber gadget that bounces around his face while strengthening his jaw and neck muscles. At first glance, it honestly looks like something you'd find in the pet aisle rather than inside an elite athlete's training routine. Seeing a football legend happily nodding his head to keep a rubber mouthpiece in the air is surprisingly entertaining. It proves that sometimes the weirdest looking exercises are the ones professionals actually believe in. If someone else tried this at the gym, people might stare. Ronaldo does it, and suddenly everyone wants one. When Ronaldo decided to build his dream home, he didn't think about making it big enough. He thought about creating a place that feels like a private luxury resort. The mansion includes breathtaking views, an incredible swimming pool, massive living spaces, and even an underground garage that could fit more cars than many dealerships.
Sometimes influence doesn't require a speech. Ronaldo walked into a press conference, noticed 2 bottles of Coca-Cola sitting in front of him, quietly moved them aside, picked up a bottle of water, and encouraged everyone to drink that instead. The moment lasted only a few seconds, but it immediately became one of the most talked about clips on the internet. It's amazing how one simple gesture created headlines around the world. Most people can't even convince their friends to drink more water. Yet Ronaldo casually changed the entire conversation without raising his voice. That's the kind of influence that only global superstars possess, and it all started with moving 2 bottles a few inches across a table. Football boots are made to score goals, sprint across the pitch, survive 90 minutes of intense action as well. Ronaldo has a pair that was never meant for any of that. Instead, they're completely covered in diamonds, turning an ordinary piece of sports equipment into a museum-worthy masterpiece.
When most creators start a YouTube channel, they're usually filming with whatever camera they can afford and hoping their first few videos gain some attention. Ronaldo's approach was completely different. The moment he entered YouTube, he already had a professionally built studio packed with high-end equipment, premium lighting, and everything needed to produce world-class content from day one. Of course, when you're one of the most recognizable people on the planet, doing things the normal way isn't really an option. While most people spend months figuring out how to improve their background or microphone, Ronaldo skipped the beginner phase entirely. It's almost unfair. He didn't climb the creator ladder like everyone else. He simply started at the top floor and invited millions of subscribers to join him. Owning a private jet already sounds like the ultimate symbol of success. For Ronaldo, however, his first jet eventually became too small. Instead of making do with what most people would consider a dream aircraft, he upgraded to an even larger Gulfstream that includes luxurious living space, a bedroom, premium seating, and everything needed to travel comfortably across the world. Imagine thinking a multi-million-dollar private jet isn't spacious enough anymore. That's a level of luxury that's almost impossible to relate to. Most travelers are just hoping their carry-on bag fits in the overhead compartment. Ronaldo solved that problem by flying in what feels like a 5-star hotel with wings. Delayed flights, crowded terminals, and long security lines simply aren't part of his travel routine anymore. Behind all the trophies and goal celebrations is an athlete who spends countless hours recovering after every training session. Ronaldo uses futuristic LED recovery boots designed to help his muscles recover faster, and honestly, they look like something borrowed from a science fiction movie. Covered with hundreds of glowing lights, they transform an ordinary recovery session into something that resembles preparing for a space mission. The funny thing is that while most people grab an ice pack after exercising, Ronaldo straps on equipment that makes him look like he's about to board a rocket. It might seem a little over the top, but when you've built a career around staying in peak physical condition, every small advantage matters. If glowing boots help extend one of the greatest football careers in history, they're probably worth every penny, even if they do make... Considering everything Ronaldo owns, you might expect his Ballon d'Or trophy to be one of his most treasured possessions. Surprisingly, he chose to let one of its replicas go for a much bigger purpose. Instead of keeping it on display forever, he auctioned it off and donated every dollar raised to children in need. It wasn't a publicity stunt or a carefully planned campaign. It was simply a quiet act of generosity. Moments like this remind people that success isn't measured only by money or trophies. Behind the headlines about luxury cars, private jets, and billion-dollar contracts is someone willing to turn one of football's greatest achievements into hope for others. Most people would never let go of such a valuable personal award. Ronaldo looked at it and thought someone else could benefit more. That's probably the most valuable thing about the entire story. And unlike the cars or mansions, this is one purchase that didn't make his life richer, it helped improve someone else's.
Moving to Saudi Arabia wasn't just a new chapter in Ronaldo's football career, it also introduced him to an entirely different level of luxury living. While waiting for his permanent home, he stayed in an incredible penthouse that stretched across multiple floors of one of the country's most luxurious hotels. With breathtaking city views, elegant interiors, private entertainment areas, and enough space to make most luxury apartments look tiny, it felt more like a royal palace than a hotel suite. The price tag alone is enough to make anyone blink twice. Most people save for years just to afford a vacation, while Ronaldo was spending that amount simply to have somewhere comfortable to sleep. Imagine telling your friends you're staying in a hotel, and then casually forgetting to mention it comes with multiple floors and panoramic skyline views. At that point, checking into a hotel isn't really booking a room anymore, it's temporarily renting a piece of a skyscraper.
Perhaps the most impressive part is that Ronaldo still refuses to slow down. Even after breaking records, winning countless trophies, and building a fortune that most people can't even imagine, he continues pushing himself to improve every single season. That relentless mindset is probably the real reason behind everything you've seen throughout this video. The cars are spectacular, the houses are unbelievable, and the luxury lifestyle is fascinating. But none of it would exist without years of discipline, sacrifice, and relentless ambition. In the end, Ronaldo isn't just living a billionaire lifestyle. He's built a legacy that will continue inspiring athletes and dreamers long after his playing career finally comes to an end. If you thought this was the craziest side of Cristiano Ronaldo's life, wait until you see what other billionaires spend their fortunes on. Hit subscribe now so you never miss our next video. And click the video on your screen because trust me, the next story is even more unbelievable.